Okay, some of the objectives of the program is to provide extensive listening activity for my students. Why I decide to provide extensive listening activity? Because based on my own experience as a language learner, I listened to lots of songs when I was in junior high school. I watched a lot of movies when I was in high school. And I found that I pick up languages by doing this kind of things. And I believe that my students, if we give lots of opportunity by doing these activities, they will be able to pick up lots of language as well. And another reason why I choose to do this extensive listening is because I found out that new generation, as well as cited by Willy Renandia, points out that one of the most important benefits of extensive listening is to provide learners with a cognitive map, which is a very important knowledge for students to allow the development of the four language skills. And the other objective is to provide a lot of comprehensible and enjoyable input for my students. For the underpinning theory, I think everybody in this room agree that input is a very important factor in language learning, right? And as stated by Prasha, input is a necessary and sufficient condition for language learning. And also, Willy Renandia points out that we need to provide abundant, comprehensible input for our students. So that's why in this program we provide 20 minutes exposure of English every single day, from Monday to Friday, and we also provide 45 minutes during lunchtime. So basically, we have two kinds of activities. The first one is face-to-face activity, and the second one is not face-to-face. Okay, I'll explain about that later. Okay, the implementation of EDP basically we have speakers in our classrooms, and the speakers are connected to the system in the office. So at one time, teacher will be able to handle a lot of students, because the teacher in the office can direct the students, can provide or facilitate the learning through the microphone, so that the students can perform the activities in every classroom in the school. So I think this is quite a very unique learning approach that you probably I guess, that you probably never did before, because it involves non-face-to-face learning. So basically, you won't see, especially me, when I teach my students during the non-face-to-face class, I didn't see my students, so I just sat in the office, and the students were in their own classes, and I talked to them through the microphone, and they listen to me, and then they perform the activities that I facilitate. And in every classroom, we usually have a classroom teacher who help me to direct the students in the class. And we also have students' performance and competitions. And to my surprise, I found out that by having this kind of performance and competition, I found out that the students' motivation has increased a great deal. And I also found out that they become more interested to learn English. And this is such a very, such a big thing for me, I guess. Yeah. Basically, because my students were still on the lower level proficiency, so I just use simple activities such as read while listen, and then choral reading, and then singing, okay? And I believe that these kinds of activities are very, very useful for my students, because they can pick up the languages, they can learn a lot of important vocabularies, and they can learn the pronunciation. We also have some activities such as anchoring dialogue and then fill in double gap activity. Okay. I think everybody is familiar with one gap activity, right? Has everybody here tried out the double gap activity? Would you please raise your hand if you ever tried that? Double gap activity? Okay, thank you then. It's a bit unique, the double gap activity, because we usually provide two gaps. Yeah? The first one is the student needs to guess what the word is, and the second one is the actual word after the listening to the listening material. We also have the question and project, and this question and project is the one that really help the students to foster or to promote their critical thinking skills and also to promote their creativity, which is part of the 21st century skills. I'll show you some videos where our students are doing activities. Sorry, it's not that much. So basically, there are a lot of activities which is quite interesting for the students. Like you see on the video, that they were doing an action story, which is simple basically, but it's very engaging and very useful for the students. And we also have the competition, like I said earlier. So every month, after each unit of learning, then we will have a competition where the students need to, for example, in this video, the students need to prepare themselves about the singing competition, but they need to find a way how they can make their performance interesting for everybody, so that they can be the winner of the competition. And I found out that this is very interesting because they come up with very, very creative ideas. Maybe you can say, have the video. I'll just skip that video, I think, I'm sorry. Some of the resources we also use jazz chant. And I found out that all my students love listening to these jazz chants. And they keep on asking me to play that. Maybe I can play that. Okay, this program is also aimed at promoting 21st century skills, especially the creativity. And usually, each unit, I usually provide one reading activity for my students. And from that one reading, I ask my students to manipulate or to analyze and create role play, so that they can act out the role play later on. And to my surprise, they were so creative by making out the prompts, or everything that they need to make the performance interesting, as you see it on the picture. You see, my students made a boat, a very small boat, because the story is about a girl who is on a boat. And they will also bring some toy dances in the class. Okay, some benefits that I found out from this program is that it addresses the lack of language exposure, because we provide abundant, enjoyable and comprehensible exposure every single day from morning 20 minutes and in the afternoon for 45 minutes. And I also found out that the benefit is helping learners become more proficient in social English, and it also brings a balance to the limited English lesson hour in curriculum 2013. Because in my country, there is a reduction of listening hour, learning hour for the students in high school. But there are also some challenges, of course, in my program, because we need to have additional facilities and the teaching hour addition for teachers. Okay, there were some instruments that we used to know whether this program was useful or not. They are pre-test, and this pre-test was administered before the program started. And then we have also post-test, which was administered 2 months after the program started. And then the retention test, which was done 5 months, yeah, was just done last month. Okay, during the pre-test, the students' average score was 64.76. And then 2 months later, I administered post-test, and the average score of my students were 82.11. And there is a gain of 70-something%, right? If you compare the post-test to the pre-test result. This gain, I believe, shows that this program is useful for my students. And then 5 months later, I administered a retention test, and the average score of my students was 84.85. And the gain is not that big. It's only 2 point something, but still it shows that the students' vocabulary are, the students were able to retain their vocabulary that they have learned before during the program. And I believe that based on these instruments, the program has been running quite successful in my school. I also administered students' questionnaire, and out of 100 students, 34 students said that the program really improved their vocabulary, and 34 out of 100 said they strongly agree with that, and 43 students agree with that, and 3 students disagree with that, and only 1 student strongly disagree with that. And 35 students strongly agree that the materials are interesting for them, and 43 something are agree that the materials are interesting, and around 3 disagree, and only 1 strongly disagree that the materials are interesting. This is one thing that really surprising for me, because I found out that so many students agree that from the performances and from the competition really motivates students to learn more, to study more about the program. And to my surprise, I heard a story from the owner of my school. He has 2 daughters studying in the school, and usually just like many teenagers who were just playing with the gadgets, right, Facebooking or something. And when this program started, his father found out that their daughters really pay attention to the learning materials, and they they keep on studying the vocabulary, and they keep on learning the target languages, which is discussed in every unit. And I think it's such a very surprising fact for me, because this program really motivates my students to learn. These are some students of mine, their responses. One student said that they learned a lot of vocabulary through this program, and there are a lot of songs, and it helped them become more motivated to learn. And she hopes that more time will be allocated, because we usually have only 20 minutes in the morning. And maybe some of them were so enthusiastic that they want to have more time. One student said that they listen to songs and gestures a number of times, and this helped them improve their listening skill, and they understand more when they listen to listening materials more often. Just some comments here from my very good friends and mentor, and one of them is here, Dr. Christine. Thank you so much for all the support. Professor Siti said that this program is very impressive, and Christine said that this program is innovative. It addresses the lack of English lesson hour in the curriculum 2013, and provides a lot of language exposure for students. Okay, I think based on this program, it's quite a very innovative program, and it's enjoyable for the students, and it only gives like it's also very beneficial for the students, because it provides a lot of comprehensible input. It provides a lot of language exposure every single day for my students. It's also very motivating for my students, because as we found out that they were so motivated to learn more and to study the learning materials. Basically, this program is a complementary program apart from the usual English class, but we found out that this complementary program has become the main program of the English lesson in the school, because I found out that all the students seem to be able to learn, or to be able to use the language more accurately, more proficient, instead of using the language that they learned during the usual English lesson. So I would say that this is not only a complementary program, but it's a main program in my school now. I think that's the end of my presentation, and that's my email address. I'd like to hear some wisdom on how to make this program better. Thank you so much.
Okay, my name is Joy Morgan from the TESOL University in Bangkok. Learning by listening to songs, do you select the songs, or do you just basically take popular songs? One reason I ask this is because often the language in songs is not usual. When you listen to Celine Dion singing My Heart Will Go On, I mean, what exactly does that mean? A lot of words and expressions in songs are for evoking emotions rather than for conversational English. How do you vet these? How do you select these? And do you find students sometimes start talking peculiarly because of their songs that they've learned?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Roy, for a very good question. Such an honor to be here with you today. Basically the songs that I pick up are songs that are related to some target languages. For example, on the song, one of the songs is about, the title is On the Weekend. So basically, this song is talking about daily routine, which is one of the target languages about present simple, right? So basically, the songs that I use in my program is taken from many resources which has related to some kind of languages in the UK. Okay. Yes, are there any more questions? Yes, sir.
A couple of comments.
My name is Dave Bakewell. I'm a graduate student at Chulalongkorn, and I'm also the head of the program with Sahawit Schools here in Thailand. Using the chants like you do as an extra material or outside of the regular classroom situation is a lot like programs that were engaged by KIP, Learning and Knowledge Program in the United States, going back to the early 1990s. And they have been effective because they key into a lot of factors that we don't really think about directly. And they provide mnemonics to become catchy. A lot of times they're relevant to what we do. Or teachers can create chants that are relative to what we do every day in the classroom or in our school life or academic life or personal life as students. And by doing them, they provide a lot of input that goes beyond just simple comprehensible input, but all of a sudden, through the use of activities like this, we start making English cool outside of the English classroom. And in my own studies and experience with students here in Thailand, when we made that leap to getting English outside of the classroom and making it cool to use English outside the class, the learning achievements by the students, the efficacy and the retention by the students jumped by leaps and bounds. I think your program is a good start, and I'd like to talk with you further on possible enhancements that you might like to engage in your program with your limited resources available. We can maybe provide some support for you, and I don't charge for it.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Yeah, I realized that our school is a very limited in terms of the resources. Yeah. We don't have any library in the school, and we don't have any. When I first teach in that school, there were no listening materials at that school. Yeah. And thank God, based on my searching, based on my small kind of research, of a school teacher like me, yeah, I came up with ideas on how to provide lots of listening activities, lots of listening materials which are engaging for my students. And they are at a very affordable cost. And they are engaging. And thank God they provide better learning opportunity for my students, and that they achieve better learning outcome. I'd love to share about this more, and thank you for the interest. Yeah.
Email me.
Sure, I will.
I'd love to help.
Okay, if there's no more questions, I think that's the end of our session. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you again on this beautiful conference. Bye-bye.